Welcome to the Dream Nation Breakfast Club, brought to you by the Journey Podcast by Josh Valentine, of course. This is Josh Valentine, and always happy to be here with you all every single Tuesday. I know we have people tuning in from all over the world, so let me make sure that we are sharing this across all of our different platforms. You can actually hop on pretty much everywhere onto the Dream Nation Breakfast Club, and I'm going to make sure that I get everybody added on here on different platforms and everything like that. But let us know how you guys are doing. If you are watching the replay, drop an R. If you're tuning in live, drop an L. Let us know what city you are tuning in from here this morning. And we're about to get this show on the road. We have a very value-packed session for you all, as always. And today we're going to be covering why most people stay stuck and how to break free in just 21 days. And this is one of my favorite things to talk about. Many of you who are a part of our community, you know that I've been, for the most part, doing 21 days to transformation challenges for quite some time. And, it's one of those things where I absolutely love the 21 days of transformation because it's something that is practical for a lot of people. And, for people who are just looking to turn things around in a short period of time, I typically give a really great framework on how you can do so. So let me just see here. I want to make sure that I can tune in live. For some reason, I am the only person who's able to tune in right now. I just want to make sure I am doing my best to make sure that we have everybody tuning in publicly. For some reason, Facebook isn't allowing me to have this tune in publicly. So I just want to make sure that we are on all different platforms. Okay. If you guys give me a moment, I'm going to make sure that I have everything set up. Champions adjust, of course. So we're going to make sure that we have everything set up for you. I definitely don't want anyone missing the Breakfast Club here this morning. So let me see if I can get all of the access to everyone. I know we have people tuning in from LinkedIn. Shout out to everyone who is tuning in via LinkedIn. We got Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff that we're going to be sharing. So let's see here. Okay. All right. So we should be getting started here in less than 2 minutes. Spread the word. If you know of anyone who can get value from today's session, spread the word. Like, follow, comment, share. It most certainly all helps get the information out. So appreciate those of you who share the Breakfast Club every single week. So let me make sure that we are also tuning in. Now, if you would like to engage with us live, you could also do so at dnbreakfastclub.com. So at dnbreakfastclub.com, you can pretty much engage with us live every single week. Okay, so let's see here. We'll be getting started here momentarily, guys. Just want to make sure that we have the Breakfast Club posted up in all of our groups. Okay. All right. Okay, so very worst case scenario, we'll make sure that we have the Breakfast Club shared for everyone who is tuning in. We'll have the link shared from the YouTube channel and everything like that. So let's get this thing started, guys. All right, just want to make sure one last time before we get this thing going. All right. So typically what we're doing, we live stream via StreamYard. So shout out to StreamYard. It allows us to reach pretty much audiences all across different social media channels. So appreciate you guys for those of you who hop on. And every single Tuesday, if you're new to the Breakfast Club, basically the Breakfast Club is where we gather together with our community every single Tuesday from 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to anywhere between 8 and 9 a.m. So the Breakfast Club typically goes anywhere from an hour to 2 hours. And, it's a really great way to reach so many people and get personal development out there, life coaching, things like that. So We appreciate all of you who consistently share the Breakfast Club every single week. So with that being said, I'm going to jump into today's topic. Now, if you're new to the Breakfast Club, we typically share life hacks and fun facts, different things like that before jumping into the meat and potatoes, no pun intended, here on the Breakfast Club. So to get us kickstarted, I'm going to share some life hacks with you all. And the very first life hack is from the book, The 5-Second Rule. And this is one of my favorite coaching tools. And the way the 5-second rule works, and it was actually created by Mel Robbins. So it's a method formulated by Mel Robbins. And essentially the way it works is whenever you feel resistance to something, you know that you should do. It could be working out. It could be making a call. It could be speaking up for yourself. Basically what you do is you count down from 5 seconds. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And think of like a rocket ship taking off. If a rocket ship is taking off, you have that countdown. And what this does more than anything is it shuts down your brain. Sometimes our brain kind of gets caught up in paralysis of overanalysis and we end up not doing anything. It really works for getting up early in the morning. Sometimes you don't want to get up early in the morning, and those few seconds that you get to talk yourself out of it is the one thing that leads you to not getting up. So basically this 5-second rule is rewiring your brain for hesitation. Instead of just hesitating with things, it's sort of rewiring the way you go about taking action. So it gives your brain ample time to basically shut down whatever thoughts that is thinking. So just the process of counting down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, that process is ultimately what allows you to shut down the brain. So really, really great hack. And this could apply to so many things. I used to implement it for cold calls as well. So whenever I had to do like some cold calling or something in my business that needed, like, let's say prospecting and things that I had resistance with, I would just do this method and count down and then just go for it. So if I had, in the world of sales, they refer to your phone sometimes as the 500-pound gorilla. And people wrestle with their phone because they don't want to make the calls. And I remember in the early days, we would, essentially just do this countdown, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then just pick up the phone and call. And it really, really does help. So I would most certainly recommend it. And let's see here. Okay. Now, for those of you who are tuning in on Facebook, usually we have, for some reason, Facebook isn't allowing me to be great. They may have changed the terms for who gets to watch publicly on Facebook. So no worries if that is the case. We'll definitely get it all figured out for next week. And if you guys would like to also engage, let's just say you're not hopping on Facebook, hop over to The Journey with Josh Valentine to tune into past podcast recordings or Breakfast Club recordings, but also YouTube live streams. So if you just look me up on YouTube, you'd be able to find the Breakfast Club right on there, or on Instagram as well. And yes, let's keep this thing going. All right. So moving forward, and if you guys don't mind, if you know of anyone who typically jumps onto the Breakfast Club, if you guys don't mind just sharing them the link, dnbreakfastclub.com, if they were hoping to jump onto Facebook and couldn't do so. So that would be amazing. All right. Moving forward, the very next life hack that we have is the email. It's an email trick for productivity. So the way the email trick works is if you need a response from someone, don't send emails in the afternoon. Studies show that emails sent between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. on Tuesday or Wednesday have the highest open and reply rates. So really, really great too. That was my first time actually coming across that one. Really good. And next up, we have another life hack for you all is water before coffee. Drinking 16 ounces of water before your first coffee prevents dehydration, and reduces that mid-afternoon crash most people get. So super, super valuable, especially for me. I'm a big time coffee drinker in the morning. I love my cup of coffee, and I have no desire to, quit coffee ever. I know some people, they don't really do well with caffeine, but it has enhanced a lot of my work life, and I'm truly grateful for coffee. But one thing that I've learned to do to kind of compensate for the negative effects of coffee, like the crash and everything like that, has been lately drinking a lot more water. All right, moving forward, we have some fun facts. The very first one is your brain uses more energy than any other organ. Your brain uses more energy than any other organ. Although it's only about 2% of your body weight, your brain consumes 20% of your total energy. Okay, so really, really good to know. Now you may need it for like Jeopardy or something like that, but yes, really interesting. 2% of your body weight, but consumes 20% of your total energy in your body. Really interesting. Next up, we have bananas are berries, but strawberries aren't. So one of those interesting fun facts. Botanically speaking, bananas are classified as berries, but strawberries aren't. First time coming across that as well. Next, we have sharks predate trees. So sharks apparently have been around for over 400 million years, meaning they existed before trees even grew on Earth. So really fascinating fun fact. And last but not least is you are apparently taller in the morning. So due to the compression of cartilage in your spine throughout the day, you're about 0.5 inches taller when you first wake up. So really interesting. All right. So before we get into today's main topic, which is on the 21 Days to Transformation Challenge, I have a few shares for you all. Let's see here. And I have some personal development shares. I love just sharing all different topics centered around personal development. So I typically get a bunch of different materials and resources that I get for the Breakfast Club. And, the shares that I'm sharing today are from Giant Steps by Anthony Robbins, as well as the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People flashcards. So I definitely recommend both books if you guys haven't read the books as yet. So appreciate those of you who are tuning in. Let us know where in the world you are tuning in from. I know we got Florida in the house. Okay, so I got some people tuning in via YouTube, which is great. We got LinkedIn, which is great as well. Happy to have you all with us. And pardon for the technical difficulties earlier today. We had some technical difficulties on some of our platforms, which is fine. Champions adjust, of course. So we are going to keep this show on the road. All right, here we go. So the very first share that I have is, if we want the deepest fulfillment, we can achieve it only one way: by deciding what we desire most in life, what our highest values are, then committing to live by our decision every single day. Really great share. So I'll repeat it one more time. If we want the deepest fulfillment, we can achieve it only one way: by deciding what we desire most in life, what our highest values are, then committing to live by our decision every single day. Now, this is really interesting because when you think about it, we all have different values. A lot of people have similar values. Like for me, certain things that I value is like family, right? Family is a major value for me. Integrity is a major value. Work ethic, certain things like that are major. And when you think about what you desire most in life, it is important to do some self-inventory on what you desire most, but also not only what you desire most, but also what are your core values and what you represent. And your decisions should always reflect that, because your decisions are ultimately what lead to your destiny. It's the constant decisions that you make, and your decisions should also be fundamentally decided, right? When you make certain choices, you should make those choices based on intention. You should make those choices based on what are your core values. So for me, I value time a lot. So like my personal time. So it's not very difficult for me to turn down certain things that don't necessarily serve my highest good. I not only value my time, I'm also very intentional about everything that I do throughout the course of the day. So from the calls that I take to the events that I frequent and things like that. There's so many different things that happen throughout the course of the month. And a lot of those things that I decide to participate in, they typically have to be in alignment with whatever my overall objective is, not only for my life, my family's life, everything like that, the work that I do within my community, but also they have to be in alignment with the values. Sometimes you will find yourself hanging around people or in environments that aren't necessarily conducive to where you want to go and who you want to be. So it is really, really good to reflect on that. Next, we have, who are the most universally admired people in our culture? Aren't they those who have a solid grasp of their own values? People who not only profess their standards, but live by them. We all respect men and women who take a stand for what they believe, even if we don't agree with their ideas about what's right or wrong. There is undeniable strength in individuals who congruently lead lives in which their philosophies and actions are one. Make congruency your goal. Is there anything you currently do that's inconsistent with what you believe is right? Take immediate action to rectify this. Then think for a moment. What's a value or a principle you absolutely live by? And how has it enhanced your life? So one of the things that's a core value for me is just putting experiences at the top of the list. So of course, we all have material possessions that we like to buy from time to time. Like I love technology. I love buying nice things. I like buying quality things. But the one thing that has served my life in a really, really great way has been putting experiences at the top of my list in terms of what I value in life. Like I spend a lot of money on experiences. I wouldn't say that I'm the most materialistic person per se, right? I mean, I have nice things, of course, but in terms of like what's top priority, I spend far more money on experiences than I do on material possessions. And the reason for that is because I just firmly believe that experiences they hold a lot more value because no one could ever take an experience from you. You see, people may be able to take your material possessions away. You can go bankrupt, right? You could have your car repossessed or your home foreclosed. But one thing about experiences is that they will always remain. And experiences, I always say, are the gift that keeps on giving, because you could always reflect back on some of those beautiful memories and you can extract joy. You can extract gratitude. You can extract a deep appreciation for your life just by reflecting on really beautiful experiences that you've had throughout the course of your life. Okay, next we have, in the movie Stand and Deliver, teacher Jamie Escalante forcefully demonstrates the power wielded by those who have absolute clarity about what they value most, what they stand for. His passion for learning was transmitted to his students not by a teaching technique, but by his living demonstration of what was possible. He taught a generation considered lost not only how to pass a calculus test, something they were certain couldn't be done, but also how to value one another, their Latino heritage, and the power of learning to raise the quality of their lives forever. His absolute commitment to a higher set of standards transformed these young people's lives. What could you accomplish if you were absolutely focused on what you value most in life? So really, really great share. And for those of you who haven't seen the movie, I definitely recommend it. Stand and Deliver, really great movie on this phenomenal teacher. Okay, so the very last share before we jump into today's main topic is give credit. Identify someone who deserves credit for something they've done or helped you accomplish. Privately or publicly acknowledge that person's contribution. So giving credit is super important, not only in the workplace, but just with your family, with your friends, whenever you're getting help. It could be with your significant other, it can be with your children, but it is super, super important to take the time to just give people credit in your life. And I think, and I know I fall victim to this all the time, where sometimes you get so caught up in complaining and what's not right that you just forget to praise what is right and praise what is going well in your life and what other people are doing really, really well. So for those of you who lead teams, always make sure that the teams that you lead, there's a saying that you want to praise in public, but you essentially you criticize in private, right? And you want to always praise people for the value that they bring to your organization. If you have to leave constructive feedback, always do your best to do it privately, as opposed to just ostracizing somebody or condemning them right there on the spot in front of other people. You'd be amazed by how many people would leave an organization simply because they've been humiliated. They don't feel appreciated or valued or respected. So it is good, like whenever you're leading people, to always make sure that if you're going to praise people, yeah, you can praise them privately, but it's even better when you praise people publicly. And then if you're giving feedback, always just find some time where you can just talk to someone in private. That way they don't feel the heaviness of that feedback. Okay. Now ask yourself, who has recently helped me accomplish something? Have I thanked them? For many people, public or private acknowledgement is a big win. We can build trust and strengthen our relationships when we share credit generously. So really great share. And this is a really great quote by Harry Truman. That is, it's amazing how much you can accomplish when it doesn't matter who gets the credit. So isn't that true? Now, all right, we're about to jump into today's main topic, and we have a lot of value that we're going to be sharing. And I'm excited because this time of the year is the halftime, the halfway point through the year. Isn't it crazy? I feel like we were just starting our New Year resolutions, and here we are getting ready to embark on the second half of 2025. So yesterday I was just reflecting on what would be good to talk about on today's Breakfast Club. And I thought about it and I'm like, man, we're about 20 days or so away from the second half of the year. And I always like to build momentum into these great moments throughout the year. So for example, when it comes to just setting New Year resolutions, I never set New Year resolutions on New Year's Day or even on the second or third. I start New Year resolutions weeks before to start building the momentum. So today's Breakfast Club really is going to be a refresher for those of you who've never participated in a 21 Days to Transformation challenge with our community. This is a really great way to engage and get some accountability, get some community support. And we've launched tons of 21 Days to Transformation challenges. And basically the premise of the challenge is identifying or going over the 21 to-dos. So I have a list of 21 to-dos that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. And it's following through on as many of these 21 to-dos in 21 days to build momentum in your life, to help take your life to the next level. And I have a lot of exciting announcements with things that are happening within our community, a lot of exciting things happening. And I'm really excited for you guys for a lot of different reasons. So the 21 Days to Transformation is always exciting just to kind of help people get reset. Because let's be honest, most people set those New Year resolutions, and by February, over 90% of people have given up on those New Year resolutions. So what we do as a community, and what I've been doing for a lot of years, is we typically do a life mastery event. So it's usually like a 2 to 3 day virtual event to get us kickstarted. I've also done these in person as well. And then halfway through the year, we have a Life Mastery halftime. And the Life Mastery halftime is actually my favorite because during New Year's, everybody's kind of in New Year resolution mode, and you know, people are already doing that. But it's very rare to find a community of people who actually go through a reset halfway through the year. And it's powerful because it's a great opportunity to just kind of sit back, reflect on, okay, what's working, what's not working, what have I put on the back burner? And halfway through the year is still enough time to finish off the year strong. So it's not like the very last month where you're trying to scramble to accomplish whatever it is that you set earlier in the year. You still have time to really turn this year around if it hasn't been necessarily going in your favor. So I wanted to really reset our community. And if you didn't know, we also have a 21 Days to Transformation course. So there's a digital course with modules and all of that. And another reason why I'm excited is because we're in the process of pretty much revamping the entire course. So this week, we're going to be launching the very latest edition of the 21 Days to Transformation course. I had initially launched it years ago, and so many people have benefited from the 21 Days to Transformation course over the years. And it was about that time to give it an update. I've learned a lot of information over the last several years, and we're excited because we have a lot of fresh new content on there. And another amazing announcement that I'm really excited to bring to the table is our Creators Conference. So many of you know, in our community last year, we did a Creators Conference at the Fusion Resort on Treasure Island. And this year, we're going to be running it back for the second annual Creators Conference. And I couldn't be more excited to share that with you guys. And I have a flyer here, so you should be able to see this, the Creators Conference. It's more than likely going to be at the end of September. The very latest will be the first week of October. So we're solidifying all of the venue and everything, but I just wanted you guys to save the date or save that time period. Do not set up any vacations or anything like that, because this is going to be that vacation, especially for those of you who are outside of the Tampa Bay area. Okay, so another thing is, again, our Life Mastery. So this year's Life Mastery, we're going to be having a lot of different experts, a lot of phenomenal people who are going to be sharing some incredible information. And that's our Life Mastery Halftime. We brought some phenomenal coaches, speakers, mentors, experts in a variety of different fields. And Life Mastery is all about improving your life holistically, every area of your life. So keep an eye out. I'll be sending out emails. I'll be sending out all kinds of updates on that also. All right. And lastly, we have the Holistic Edge course that's going to be released. So we have the 21 Days to Transformation course, but the Holistic Edge is pretty much how I integrate work-life harmony. So I'm really excited. As you guys can see here on the website, we have tons of different modules. So mental health management, where you train your mind like a pro athlete. You have modules on energy and biohacking and all kinds of stuff, updating your systems, your daily method of operation, all kinds of stuff, even your relationships. So if you follow my work, you know that I'm big on the 5 F's: faith, fitness, family, fortune, and fun. And the Holistic Edge is pretty much going to show you guys how to master the art and science of work-life harmony. So I'm super, super excited. That's also being launched this week as well. So I am going to be releasing a promo for you guys. It's specifically for the Breakfast Club community. This very week, we're going to be giving you guys 50% off of like everything that we have so that we can best assist you launching into the second half of 2025. Okay, so really, really excited. And let's jump into it. We have so many amazing things that I want to share with you all here today. And the main topic, again, is going to be on why most people get stuck and essentially how to turn things around in 21 days. So for those of you who have been following me for a lot of years, you know, I wear a lot of hats. I'm a father, I'm a husband, a community builder, a serial entrepreneur, podcaster, all of these different things. I coach a lot of different clients that I work with throughout the course of the week. And I'm very, very passionate about this idea of work-life harmony, work-life integration, not work-life balance, because I truly believe that there's no such thing as sustainable work-life balance, if you will. I don't think on a 1 to 10 scale, 10 being the very best, I don't think in every category of your life, it is sustainable to be a 10 out of 10, unless you have super low standards, right? And it's easy to be a 10. But for people like myself who have very high standards for their lives and the quality of their lives, it's not sustainable to just be at your very best, because there are going to be seasons, for example, where you are maybe a 10 in your career, maybe a 10 in your relationships, but you're like a 7 in your health. You're like a 7 in your personal development. And it is important every single year to kind of like assess where you are in every area of your life. So if you followed my work, you know that typically around this time of the year, I'll go over the life scale. And the life scale are the 10 main dimensions of your life. So you have things on there from your personal development to your business or career, your finances, your relationships, things like that. It's like a more detailed version of the 5 F's. And if you're wondering what are the 5 F's, it's your faith, fitness, family, fortune, and fun. And these are a great way to compartmentalize different aspects of your life. So if you bring enough consciousness, so I always say if you bring enough of your T, and T being an acronym for your time, energy, and attention, to the 5 main areas of your life, you're going to be a lot more likely to have work-life integration, okay? Where a lot of people go wrong, and what ends up having a lot of people stuck is they give way more attention to, let's just say, one area of their life. So that area may be, let's say, work. I find this all the time. People who are high performers, high achievers, they dedicate every ounce of their time, energy, and attention to their work specifically. And the issue with that is that obviously 2 thoughts cannot occupy the mind simultaneously. When you're on the grind and you're looking to achieve something great, you have to be mindful that the other areas will pay the price. The other areas of your life will pay the price. And that's why it is important to go through this process I call of calendar optimization. And calendar optimization is really structuring your calendar, structuring your schedule so that every single area of your life is accounted for. So, for example, I'll give you guys my personal calendar, or like the way I structure work-life integration into my personal life. So with faith, for example, for me, faith is prayer and meditation. I do a meditation before every Breakfast Club session, and every morning. Prayer and meditation has absolutely, I would say in terms of my spiritual life, has added the most value to my spiritual life in terms of the connection that I have with my Creator. And on Sundays, we do a church. And for you, it may be a temple, a mosque, a synagogue, whatever's your thing. But I like the idea of community. So I mainly go on Sundays to church because like my kids get around other kids. It's a really great place, to just get around a lot of community, and that can be super helpful for you. But you have to identify, what does an ideal spiritual life look like, right? And it's different for everybody. Everybody has different ways of going about their spirituality, but I specifically have that already scheduled. So I know that I'm going to start my day with some form of prayer and meditation. Sundays are going to be dedicated to my spirituality as well, and rest for my family. So faith and family are the 2 main categories for Sundays. Sundays, we shut everything down and we just kick it with our family. We get around community, and it's our time to just kind of relax. And that was one of the biggest enhancements to my overall life, because I was an entrepreneur for a lot of years and just grinding for a lot of years. And then I came to the realization that even though I had retired from the workforce and I had gone on this path to having my own time freedom, I came to the realization I wasn't really that time free, because I was always working. I had zero boundaries for myself when it came to work. I would take business calls at any time of the day, any time of the night, had no type of structure whatsoever. So systemizing that and providing structure, like with my personal life, it has been a tremendous blessing. Okay, so Another thing that I do is I get together with men pretty much on a weekly basis within my spiritual community, and I touch base with them, a lot of the men in the business community specifically, and that has also added a lot of value. Now, fitness is also a big part of my life. I schedule it. Usually, I would say I average about 4 to 5 days out of the week where I'm doing some kind of fitness. Now, every single day, I would say I walk consistently up to 3 miles a day for about 6 days out of the week. I would say that I'm walking around my neighborhood. So walking and getting outside is a big part of that. But in terms of strength training, lifting actual weights, that I would say at a minimum is 3 days out of the week. On average is about 4 days out of the week. And it's also scheduled. So that's one of the ways that I sort of schedule the fitness area. And for those of you who followed my work for years, you know that fitness also is mental, emotional, and physical fitness. So what are you doing throughout the course of the week? How can you schedule or prioritize time for your mental fitness? And that could be personal development. So I'm big on personal development. I actually believe in the concept of pleasure stacking. So if you enjoy going out for walks outside, right, you can actually stack it with personal development and flood your mind with a lot of positivity, a lot of personal development. I listen to tons of podcasts these days, especially podcasts from entrepreneurs who are very successful in their respective fields. And that is a major benefit throughout the week. You want to constantly flood your mind with positivity. As I always share here on the Breakfast Club, garbage in, garbage out, greatness in, greatness out. You have to flood your mind with a lot of positivity to be able to navigate through different things that we go through in life. So mental fitness, emotional fitness, and of course, if you're doing things like meditation, you're taking care of your health, this is definitely going to help improve the quality of your emotions. And then physical fitness. What are you doing physically throughout the week? Now, when it comes to family life, as I mentioned, Sundays, I shut it down. Yesterday, I took my kids to the park, just to spend some time with them. Now, when their grandparents are in town, I don't spend as much time because that's, they're taking up all the time with the kids, which is great. But again, you have to prioritize your relationships. So I look at the family category as also your friend category or the relationships category. So that's family and friends. Now, Sundays, we get together a lot of the times with our friends as well. So they'll come over, we'll get our kids around each other, and that's a major benefit as well. So you have family, you have friends, and you have to schedule it in. Okay, for those of you who are in a relationship, you have a significant other. Think about this. Is your significant other currently on your schedule? Like on your schedule, the way your work would be on your schedule? Are they a priority throughout the course of the week, the way your work is a priority throughout the course of the week? And if not, why not give it a shot? See how it works. You'd be amazed at how far that can go. And honestly, you gathering together with your significant other, that could just legitimately be you going to the park, right? You going to catch a movie together. It doesn't have to be super expensive, right? There's so many things that you can do together. Maybe it's watching a show together, and that could be something that you do to build that sense of intimacy. Now, fortune is everything centered around how you go about building your wealth, your legacy, all of that. And I love the fortune category because I spend a lot of time working. Work will occupy at least a third of your life. So it is very essential to bring enough time, energy, and attention to how you go about your work life. Think about that. A third of your life is spent sleeping. A third of your life is spent working. So it is super important to engineer your environment and make sure that your work environment is the most optimal. And you may work, let's just say, a job that you do not like, but how can you make it better? How can you make the experience of work a lot better, whether it's cleaning up your space, right? Or just showing up at your very best. There's certain things that you can do. Okay. And then last but not least is the fun category. And, with the fun category, Again, we schedule vacations, we schedule different things that we do for fun, and leave a little room for spontaneity. It doesn't have to always be super calculated. You want to leave some room for mystery, right? For different serendipitous moments to just pop up throughout the week. But it is also important to schedule fun into your life, because if you do not, work will consume you. Okay, so moving forward, here we go. We're going to go into some of the 21 to-dos on the 21 Days to Transformation Challenge. And this is definitely going to help you build momentum going into the second half of this year. And I'm going to be covering a little bit more in depth with the 21 to-dos and things like that over the next 2 weeks or so that we can properly get you guys ready to kickstart the second half. But the idea more than anything is to help you build momentum. Okay, so understand that transformation, it doesn't have to take long. Transformation usually happens, it starts with a breakthrough. You have a breakthrough. You get to a point in your life where you're like, enough is enough. And when you think about it, you typically get to that point when you're just like, I need change. Maybe your habits haven't been the best. Maybe it's your environment that hasn't been the best. Maybe it's just your lack of structure or lack of routine that hasn't been the greatest. And you find yourself in a space where like, I need to change. I need to make some change. And if that's the case for you, by the way, reach out to me, DM me the word coach. If you want information on the 21 Days to Transformation course, I can basically show you guys how you can get access to it. Or if even with the Holistic Edge, and if you have interest in that, just DM me the word coach. I'd be more than happy to send you the resources as well as information on our Creators Conference. Okay, so whatever it is that you're lacking, you are at a point or a critical junction in your life where it's like something's got to change. And that's why going through these 21 Days of Transformation challenges are so powerful, because it doesn't have to take forever. This doesn't have to be months on months. You could literally, within 21 days, rewire a lot of your habits, a lot of your mindset, like everything that you have going on in your life. You can completely transform it in about a 21-day time frame. Now, it's not going to completely, let's just say 100% transform every aspect of your life. But what 21 days allows you to do is get the ball rolling. It gets the wheels turning. So when you think about a runaway train, right, it didn't start out like that. You have to get those wheels turning. And sometimes that's all we need. And you just got to get yourself in motion. A body in motion stays in motion. So once you get yourself in motion, then you have the momentum to do even more challenging things, to take on more on your plate. Okay, so over the next few weeks, my goal is, after you guys hearing a little bit more about the 21 Day to Transformation Challenge, you'll find a few things that you're like, you know what, I can use a little bit more of that over the next 21 days, a little bit more of that. And let me start implementing these so that I can start building momentum going into the second half of 2025. So I know for me, I'm going to definitely make some updates, but we're going to do the official 21 Day Transformation Challenge together as a community, hold each other accountable, and it'll be a great way to have that sense of support with whatever it is that you have going on in your life. Okay, so moving forward, before we jump into the 21 to-dos, I want to give you guys the 3 pillars of rapid transformation, because that's what we're talking about more than anything. We're talking about how you can have rapid transformation, not transformation that takes years upon years or months upon months. We're talking about transformation that can happen over the course of a 3-week window. Okay, so first and foremost, the very first pillar is clarity. You need to know exactly what you want. You hear me say this all the time. Clarity of intention is power. So you need to know exactly what you want. Not, I want to be successful. No, you need to be more specific, right? What does success look like for you? Clarity creates power. And if you don't know what you want, you're essentially just going to keep drifting. So why do people get stuck? Oftentimes is lack of clarity. There's a lack of direction. There's a lack of, okay, today I have to do this. This is on my agenda. And if you've ever heard me teach on calendar optimization, for example, oftentimes I'll talk about the big three. And the big three are the three most important things that you have to do for the day. If you cannot identify your big three, then you need more clarity with whatever it is that you have going on. So an example of a big three would be, if you want to write a book, then you have to break that macro goal into micro goals that you can accomplish every single day. So the micro goal for writing a book would probably be something like research for that book, or actually writing a chapter for that book, whatever it is. But it has to be something that you do every single day to incrementally progress towards whatever that macro vision is. Okay, so that's the biggest thing. Now, let's say your big three as it pertains to your health goals. You may want to lose 30 pounds. Well, your big three for your health should probably be getting on that treadmill for about 30 minutes, or whatever is your workout routine. So, but they're the three main priorities. Warren Buffett says it best: if you have more than three priorities, you don't have any priorities. So the brain loves to compartmentalize things into threes. So it will absolutely be a game changer for whatever it is that you have going on in your life. Identifying what are the core things that you need to do. Think about this. At the end of the night, how can you feel genuinely proud of yourself? How can you rest your head at night knowing that there are things that you did for the day that your future self would thank you for? What have you done over the last 24 hours that your future self would thank you for? And this is just a really great reflection on just your entire life and getting more clarity on what you should be doing. The second pillar of rapid transformation is commitment. So remember, change doesn't happen from motivation. It happens from decision. Commitment is when you decide, I'm not living like this anymore. And you stick to that decision no matter what. So when you think about the 21 to-dos, they're essentially 21 decisions. 21 daily decisions or weekly decisions that you're making to enhance the quality of your life. And these are all generic. So the 21 to-dos can basically be applied to anyone. Whatever background you come from or whatever it is that you're working on, these are things that will incontrovertibly make your life better. So the 21 to-dos are 21 decisions, and they're a commitment for 21 days. And think about this. When was the last time you committed to something that's very, very important to you in your life? Next up, we have the third pillar is consistency. Consistency. Remember, small actions repeated daily build the life you want. And that's why I designed the 21 Days to Transformation Challenge. It's to help you with the consistency, because science shows us that with focus, 3 weeks can start to rewire your habits and thinking. Okay, so that's why I'm so passionate about the 21 to-dos, because I just know that when it comes to the three pillars from clarity, commitment, and consistency, it's going to help with every aspect of your transformation. So let's jump into the 21 to-dos, and really excited to always bring the 21 to-dos to the Breakfast Club community. These may look a little familiar, and if you're down for the challenge, it doesn't have to be right now, but if you're down for the challenge or up for the challenge, I've been intentional about saying up as opposed to down, because sometimes down is like, okay, you're down for the challenge as opposed to up for the challenge. So if you're up for the challenge of doing these 21 to-dos to sort of kickstart the second half of your 2025, definitely drop a Y in the comments. Let us know. I know some of you are going to be listening to this on the podcast, and maybe you're a little late to the game. Listen, even if you don't do it with the community, you can launch this 21 to-do challenge at any point in time. Respect and honor where you are in this season of your life. So if you find yourself in a space where you're like, I need this change ASAP, like yesterday, if that's the case for you, then I mean, what do you have to lose? I would highly recommend starting the 21 Days to Transformation right away. You don't have to wait for anyone. If you got it in you to get after it, by all means, because really what it is, the challenge behind it is just sort of a life hack to help you to actually follow through on it. But really what this is these are just daily disciplines. These are weekly disciplines. These are things that if you do these things, they will absolutely make your life better. Okay, so I'm gonna just cover these, and you could always go back, hop on the YouTube video. You could share this YouTube video, hop on it again afterwards if you need to, or wherever this video is posted up, and go back to it if you need to. You can screenshot this. But here we go. The 21 to-dos. Number 1, get a minimum of 7 hours of sleep. Now, why is sleep number 1? Because the quality of your sleep, think about this. You sleep a third of your life, and your sleep, right? Your energy levels is going to affect every aspect of your life. And sometimes what I find as a holistic life coach is that a lot of the people that I work with that find themselves burnt out and just no energy, oftentimes you can connect that to lack of sleep. You'd be amazed at how many people get less than 6 hours a day. And it's easier said than done, right? I know some of you, you have a lot of obligations. You have a lot on your plate, and you're out there. Maybe you're working 2 jobs, 3 jobs, and it is difficult to get 7 hours of sleep. But just know that that comes with the price. And if there's any way you can even squeeze in naps throughout the day just to catch up, it will absolutely help with the quality of your emotions. Because remember, the quality of your life is dependent on the quality of emotions you consistently feel. So that's the first thing. And you guys hear me give advice on sleep all the time. So they're very simple pieces of advice. I'll give you some of my top ones if you don't remember. The very first one is don't eat right before you go to sleep. Eat dinner at least 2 to 3 hours before you go to sleep. You need to give your body some time to digest your food, okay? And you'll wake up a lot more refreshed. Another thing is no screen time before sleep. Read a paperback book if you like reading, but do not watch screens right before you go to sleep. Another thing that you can do is reset your circadian rhythm by getting your eyes exposed to natural sunlight. So going out as soon as the sun is rising, or looking up at the sky while the sun is setting, that blue light helps reset your circadian rhythm. Also, do not drink a whole bunch of fluids right before you go to bed, because you'll have to use the bathroom, right? While you're sleeping through the night, you'll probably have to get up and use the bathroom. So these are just a few things that you can do to help with your overall quality of sleep. Now, number two is wake up at least 30 minutes earlier. Now, I know it sounds counterintuitive to what I just mentioned. So some of you are like, how am I going to get 7 hours of sleep if now I have to get up 30 minutes earlier? The reason why I recommend getting up 30 minutes earlier is because oftentimes people do not give themselves at least 30 minutes to just dedicate to themselves, whether it's their spirituality, whether it's connecting with, their creator, whether it's connecting with themselves, prayer, meditation, gratitude exercises, whatever it is. Now, if you're already doing that, you may not need to wake up 30 minutes earlier. But I want to challenge you guys, if you have not taken the time to just dedicate for yourself. I mean, if you don't have 10 to 30 minutes just for yourself, then that is not a life. You're just out here existing in the world. Take some time to connect with yourself. And if you have to get up 30 minutes earlier, get up. But the idea should be to wake up with no snooze. Give it a shot. For the next 21 days, or whenever you launch your 21 days challenge, wake up with 0 snooze, okay? Now, I want to give you guys a heads up. With the 21 days to transformation, oftentimes I'll take a few days to kind of prepare for it. So there are a few things that you can start right away, but there are other things that you may have to prepare for. So prime example would be number 8 would be diet and exercise, right? So diet and exercise, you may have to sign up for that gym membership or get a personal trainer, or you may have to clear out your refrigerator and replace it for healthy stuff. But whatever it is, take some time to prep yourself, okay? Because this may be a radical shift to your nervous system. Your body's gonna be like, okay, this seems very unfamiliar. Like, what is going on? You got all these things going on, and you may have to very well get yourself acclimated to this and build up to doing all of the 21 to-dos. Number 3, no social media the first and last hour of the day. This has absolutely changed my life. And I know for me, I realized that doom scrolling was consuming a lot of my time on social media, going through my timeline. And especially if you're on Instagram or TikTok, it is designed to keep you on the platform and keep you glued. It understands your brain far more than you do. So my recommendation is to start your day with no social media whatsoever. Don't even check emails, none of that. Just take the time for yourself, just to build momentum for the day. And also the last hour of the day, just to wind down, okay? Number 4, as I mentioned earlier, meditation and prayer. Whatever that looks like for you. I don't push any beliefs on anybody. You believe whatever the hell you want, right? I have my beliefs for my reasons, but I believe that prayer and meditation is something universal that we could all relate to, okay? Number 5 is affirmations. Affirmations are absolutely they add so much value. And whatever your affirmations, like my affirmation in this season and different seasons of your life, you can have different affirmations. So my affirmations for this season specifically is all faith, no fear. All faith, no fear, because sometimes we let fear creep in and it'll consume us. So just having that affirmation, just telling myself that, even though you may still have fear from time to time, it helps, because what you vocalize, you internalize. And have some set of affirmations that you can say to yourself for this season of your life, whatever season you find yourself in. Affirmations that will help amplify the areas of your life that you want to work on the most. Number 6 is some form of journaling or a workbook. So with the 21 days to transformation, I actually just revamped. I have a workbook in there. So I'm excited for you guys to get access to that workbook as well. Again, DM me the word coach. I'll send you information on how you can get access to all this stuff, all of the modules, the digital resources. But I do have a workbook, and it's identifying your big 3. It's a workbook where you can just kind of take notes on where you're at. And it's a major, major enhancement for your specific 21 days to transformation. You could also just get a journal and just journal different things. I know my wife is coming out with a planner as well. I'm really excited for her community, but it could be a planner. They have all these specialized high performance type planners or gratitude planners, and you can just get something that you can journal with. Number 7 is go over your calendar. So I would recommend, once you kind of like ease into your day and you're getting your work day going, just check in on your calendar. Make sure that you already know what to expect for the day. You could even do it the evening before. So maybe not right before you go to sleep, but just the evening before, look over your calendar for the next day. That way you always have at the forefront of your mind what is expected of you the next day. Remember, clarity of intention is power. Number 8, diet and exercise. Now, my suggestion is, if you've been like, let's say, super unhealthy, you haven't been taking the best care of your health, there are some things that are timeless. So for example, stretching. As you get older, you just have to stretch your body a lot more. And there's so many different benefits to just stretching overall. Now, another thing is eliminating certain things that are in your diet today that you can eliminate and immediately have a drastic improvement on your health. So that may be fried food. That may be your dairy consumption, getting it very limited. I love the saying 80% green, 20% gangster. So this isn't to stop you from eating the things that you absolutely love. I have what I call, cheat days in the world of bodybuilding. You have these cheat days where you can eat whatever it is that you want, whether that's a burger or whatever, but 80% of your diet should consist of healthy food or real food, okay? And you could also eliminate certain processed sugars and things like that immediately. Again, this will enhance your life. And add as much greens as possible to your diet. Also, if you do not. Now, you could also complement this with supplements. So there are a lot of supplements that you can consume that will enhance your diet and exercise as well. Number 9 is, as you guys can see here on the list, dress your best. Dress your best. Now, dressing your best always is a major enhancement as well, because when you dress your best, you feel your best, just the way it is. How many of you can relate to that? Like whenever you look good, you just automatically feel good. And super, super important to make sure that you're dressing your best throughout the course of the week, especially if you want to be as productive as possible. You're typically going to be a lot more productive if you feel good and your self-esteem is up. Okay, so dress your best. Give it a shot for 21 days. And I can almost guarantee you that you're going to feel a lot better throughout the day. Number 10 of the 21 to-dos is give up a vice. Give up a vice. Now, this can be a guilty pleasure. And maybe your vice is drinking, Pepsi or Coca-Cola. That may be a vice. It could be smoking, drinking, whatever it is. But what is some vice that you can give up? And this is great for those of you, maybe you have a bad habit of something or something that you've been wanting to overcome. And this right here is probably the greatest value that you'll get, is just starting the path of overcoming whatever addiction it is or whatever it is that you're dealing with that's sabotaging your health. Okay. Number 11, and I love this one in particular, is no gossiping, complaining, or excuses. No gossiping, complaining, or excuses. And for obvious reasons, you don't want to engage in this. Sometimes we get so caught up with friends, or maybe you have family that just always are talking about other people, and you kind of get sucked into the gossip. Or sometimes you just find yourself being a victim, right? And not wanting to take full responsibility for whatever it is that you have going on in your life, and you find yourself making excuses or complaining. I want to encourage you to challenge yourself over the next 21 days. No complaining, no excuses, no gossiping, and watch what it does to your mindset. Okay. Number 12 is 1 hour of dream building. And this is one of the most important aspects of the 21 to-dos. Now, what in the world is dream building? Dream building is essentially taking care of the things that are really like your big dream. What's your big dream? Your big dream may be, for example, to be a podcaster, right? And the dream building exercise for the day may be creating content. Maybe it's writing a book, and your dream building exercise for the day is 1 hour dedicated to just writing that book. But if you work a 9 to 5 or you work a job that you don't necessarily love, it is vital that you take time, at least 1 hour a day, just towards your dream. Because what tends to happen for a lot of people is they get so caught up in paying the bills, and they have all of these obligations, they have all of these priorities, and sometimes people get caught up in other people's intention. And this is the thing. If you are not intentional about your dreams, you will automatically fall into the intention of other people's dreams. Other people will suck you into whatever their intentions are. Okay. And that's why it is super important to just always be intentional about your life and dedicate at least 1 hour for your dreams. Not necessarily to just, cater to your kids or cater to your significant other or cater to your job, but whatever your dream is, you have to spend time with it. You have to treat it like a fertile garden that you have to nurture, and you have to give life to that garden every single day. So whatever that looks like for you, maybe it's prospecting for your business, your dream business, and you have to acquire customers. Or maybe you're in real estate and you have to close deals. And maybe the 1 hour of dream building is making cold calls with the work that you do in real estate. But whatever it is, identify what you can do at least 1 hour a day towards that dream. Number 13 is learn something new. Learn something new is number 13. And that new thing, again, 21 days, learning something new. My recommendation is there's so many different skill sets today. So you can learn, for example, if you want to get into the world of content creation, you can learn how to operate CapCut. You can learn how to work with AI. You can learn how to work Canva. so many different things infrastructurally that you can teach yourself on. And maybe that's your new skill for this season. Okay. But identify something that you can learn, a new skill, something of value, and or maybe it's just knowledge on a specific industry so that you can elevate yourself. But this is a great opportunity, a great season to learn something new. Okay. And also just learning new things stimulates your mind. You get that dopamine hit of just learning new things. The brain loves novelty. So learning new things always just brings you a lot more energy. Number 14, read a new book or listen to an audiobook, something new. Okay. I'm heavy into the world of podcasting right now. So these days I'm reading the book, The Diary of a CEO by Steve Bartlett. Really great book. And it kind of captures his journey with everything in life and business. So a great book for me in this season. Sometimes it's really helpful to find specific books that help you with specific seasons of your life. So because I'm a podcaster, I'm reading books that are more in alignment with that. Also, the book Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, who was once a Roman emperor. He had a bunch of journal entries, journals that he wrote during his lifetime, and they created a book out of it. And he teaches a lot on Stoic philosophy principles. So that's another audiobook that I've been listening to. And again, you can find different books for different things. Okay. Number 15 is tidy up. Tidy up. Remember, a cluttered home is a cluttered mind. A cluttered mind is a cluttered life. You'd be amazed at how much your environment affects your mental health. So if you find yourself emotionally drained, if you find yourself where your life is chaotic, just know that your outer world is going to be a direct reflection of your inner world. And if your inner world is full of chaos, if it's cluttered, your life is going to reflect that as well. So it is really, really important in this season to take some time to tidy up. Number 16, compliment or encourage someone. Compliment and encourage someone. Now, I was very intentional when I was putting together the 21 to-dos. I remember taking the time to think, like, man, what could really enhance people's lives? Like, what do I know without a shadow of a doubt? If people implemented these things, it will improve their life. And one of the things that I had to take into account is our biochemistry and the way your body and brain is interconnected. And you have those happy chemicals that automatically help you feel better. So the happy chemicals, the best way to remember it is the acronym DOSE, D-O-S-E. So think of it as a dose of happiness. And the D is dopamine, the O is oxytocin, the S is serotonin, and the E stands for endorphins. And these happy chemicals are really what make you feel good throughout the day. So there are certain things that you can do. For example, when you encourage someone, right? Or you compliment someone, if someone compliments you, there are times you get that dopamine hit or the oxytocin benefit from that. There's a lot of ways just connecting with loved ones. So whether it's reading a book, whether it's prayer, meditation, or going outside for a walk, all of these things are meant to enhance those happy chemicals. And that's why the 21 to-dos were structured the way that they are. Okay. So number 16, again, was complimenting or encouraging someone. Number 17 is check in on someone you love. Think about how busy we get from time to time, and we just forget to check in on the people we love the most. That can be your parent, that could be your children, that could be your even coworkers. There's some coworkers that you know that they've been going through a very hard time. Just check in on them, and you'd be amazed how valuable this is. And you know what? One thing that I've learned over the years is that it'll come back full circle. It'll come back full circle when you're at your lowest point in your life. You just never know what direction life will take you. And then you need people to check in on you, right? Having people check in on you can be super, super valuable. All right. So next up we have, let's see here. In number 18, day of rest. So have a day of rest. For me, it's Sundays. And for you, you can just pick any specific day of rest that you ultimately need. And that could be any day. Find a day throughout the week that works best for you. Okay. Number 19, give away 10% of your overall income. Now, I know this may be up for debate. For a lot of you, you're like, there's no way I'm giving away 10% of my money. These bills are billing, and I get it. But listen, the power of just being generous in your life. Watch how you feel and give with a cheerful heart. Do not give with like resentment at the fact that you feel like you have to give. You give because you get to give, not because you have to give. Okay. And it's not about, in church, they always reference, it's not about the method of your payment, it's the motive of your heart. That's the most important thing. You genuinely wanting to help people in need. 10% is not a big amount. 10%, honestly, you'd be amazed at how much that actually comes back tenfold in your life. Okay. Number 20 is save 10% of your overall income. Okay. And again, I know some of you are like, well, how am I going to save if I'm over here giving it away? Listen, you'd be surprised at how far a budget can take you. Okay. But save 10% of your income, because finances typically is one of the greatest pain points. Okay. It's one of the greatest pain points for a lot of people. And if you are just intentional about putting savings in your budget, it can go a long way. Okay. And last but not least, we have do something you love for fun. Do something you love for fun. So I'll just share this one last time for those of you who are on. And so again, number 1, get a minimum 7 hours of sleep. Number 2, wake up at least 30 minutes earlier with no snooze. Number 3, no social media the first and last hour of the day. Number 4, meditation and prayer. Number 5, affirmations. Number 6, journaling and workbook. Number 7, go over your calendar. Number 8, diet and exercise. Number 9, dress your best. Number 10, give up a vice or an addiction. Number 11, no gossiping, complaining, or excuses. Number 12, 1 hour plus of dream building. Number 13, learn something new. Number 14, read a book or listen to an audiobook. Number 15, tidy up. Number 16, compliment or encourage someone. Number 17, check on someone you love. Number 18, a day of rest. Number 19, give away 10% of your overall income. Number 20, save 10% of your overall income. And number 21, last but not least, do something you love for fun. Whatever that is, celebrate yourself. Okay, so I like to celebrate the 21 days to transformation after a long week of following through on a lot of these 21 to-dos. I love to take the time to just celebrate myself. So this could also be something that adds a lot of value. All right, so if you are in, I know that was an earful, but if you are in for another 21 days of transformation, or maybe it's your first time and you're like, you know what, I can use this right now. Let me know. We actually have a private Facebook group as well for the 21 days of transformation challenge that we'll be launching all together as a community. So if you'd like to be added to that, just DM me. Again, if you also want access to the course, to complement your journey, reach out. I'll show you how you can basically get access to it, and the Holistic Edge course that we're going to be launching this week as well. All of that amazing stuff. Hit me up. A lot of exciting things happening within the community, and I'm always excited to just help best support you guys with your year, and just being as productive as possible, being on top of your goals and dreams and aspirations, and just overall being the very best version of you. Always love just being a coach during that journey for a lot of you guys. And maybe you don't do 21 to-dos, but you're like, you know what? I saw about 3 or 4 things on that list that I can definitely add to my, calendar over the next 21 days. And my recommendation is just identify a few things that you could really, really enhance in your life and just give it a shot. What do you really have to lose? You have absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain. And another, a few more words of encouragement is, if you find yourself engaging in the challenge and maybe you go 2 to 3 days without following through, do not beat up on yourself. Get right back on track. It'll be one of the best things that you do. A lot of people, they'll kind of beat up on themselves like, man, I started and I'm already not following through. Get right back on track. It's okay to reset. And you'd be amazed at how many times I actually reset throughout the course of the year. I'm probably resetting every other day with everything that I have going on. And that's okay. Honor just where you are on your journey. Don't necessarily seek perfection. Just seek to do the very best that you can do with what you're up against for the day, and seek to be the very best version that you could possibly be. Some days you may only have 30% in you. Some days you may have 90%. But wherever you are on this journey, honor where you are and just do your best to follow through and do your very best with where you are. Okay, so with that being said, breakfast is officially served. Always honored to be here with you all. Again, DM me the word coach. I'll send you whatever materials that you want to inquire about. And I'll be seeing you guys on next week's Breakfast Club session. Again, we'll be launching the 21 Days to Transformation as a community. You guys are more than welcome to get a head start. I'll be starting my head start this week as well. And if you have any questions, anything like that, any concerns, anything that I can help you with, I'll also drop my Calendly link if you would like to book 30 minutes complimentary coaching session to help reset yourself for the second half of this year. I'll drop those links in the comment threads. You guys can find them, or even in the description. So have a blessed rest of your day, guys. God bless you all, and I'll be seeing you next week. Take care.